All right, now come back to continue our discussion on the history. Okay, we have done the behavioral discussion. Okay, next, what you learn about that we have to do analysis. Analysis, anything do analysis, you conduct survey. Right? So part of the problem diagnosis also is you can conduct survey or you can conduct interview. This interview and survey are considered as analysis, okay? Data collection method, which is, if you look at here in the what called part components of management, is about the quantitative approach. Okay, this is quantitative. Okay, when you conduct a survey, you ask question and then you give choices, right? Yeah? Choices. Or you ask people to give their rating. Yeah? What are their rating? So the rating, and after that you can come up with your pie chart, right? Your bar chart and so forth. Yeah? And then this we call quantitative. You want to make sense from your analysis. So how many of them say that roommates are their problems? Okay, rooms are their problem. For example, if you focus on that. But before that, before you can conduct the survey, you have to understand the problem first. Okay, how to understand the problem? You have to do, beside the survey, you can also talk to several people. Okay, talk to them. Do you think this is a problem? Do you think wet towel is a problem? I don't think so. That is normal to put wet towel everywhere. Okay. Another person, what do you think? Wet towel? Wet towel is okay, fine, no problem. Another person, okay, no problem. Then that is not really a problem. Even to you, it's a problem. Because later on, you wanted them to be your participant. If they don't see a problem, then you cannot solve together with the person. Then similarly, in the context of quantitative approach, we have the system called total quality management. Right? If you look at your slide, we have the total quality management. The purpose of PPM is because we wanted to improve. Right? We want to improve our work, our activities. Remember, we want to get things done. Okay, to get things done with efficiency and effectiveness. And therefore, we have to ask people what we have done is actually can give them the benefits. Here, TQM. I think if you do not know what is TQM, for example, if you heard the term ISO, have you heard ISO? Nowadays, if you purchase from online, they ask you to give rating, right? What is your rating star? 4 star, 5 star to the person. This is TQM, total quality management. Okay, the purpose is to have continuous improvement. How we apply in management? Get things done with efficiency continuously. Okay, brothers and sisters in the Zoom, continuously improve. Right? We don't just stop at one point. We're never satisfied. And we have the US way of PPM. And we also have the Japanese way. Japanese use Kaizen. I think on Saturday, our university awarded honorary doctorate to the former Japanese Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe. He said Kaizen has been practiced in Japan since the World War II. Remember, Japanese was defeated, right? In the Second World War, right? With the bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan almost like a desert, a flat land, destroyed already. But they never given up. They learn quickly. They reckon up. And they use the philosophy of Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement. Okay, in our term we call what? Itqan, right? Itqan. ITQAN, Itqan. Itqan from our surah, that we recite. Ahsani Taqwim. Okay, we are perfect. We are perfect. We are perfect. Therefore, we cannot reduce our perfection because we are perfect. And therefore, our perfection must be maintained, must be sustained. We cannot reduce. Okay? If you reduce, we are no longer doing our work as servant and licensed of Allah. But how to do it? How do we know whether we are perfect or not perfect? We have to ask others, right? What do you think about me? Am I okay? Because you cannot see yourself. You also cannot see yourself without the mirror, isn't it? Nowadays you don't have to have mirror. No, I think never. I know people have mirror already. I don't know why. Certain people, brothers also seldom bring mirror to that. Sisters, so I don't think they stop when they look at the mirror. Now you have what? Handphone. After looking yourself, then selfie, right? People in the past, my, I think your father, your parents, we have, brother, we have our mirror. Mirror. Okay, handsome or not? Especially wanted to go to the lecture to see handsome or not. Look at our hair. Or we spend time in the washroom, check our hair. But no more mirror. I don't think you brought mirror with you, right? Right? Sister, did you bring mirror with you? No more mirror. In your handbag? Old generation, they have mirror. That mirror is very important to look at yourself, right? To reflect yourself. So similarly, we wanted to be perfect. We need someone else to tell us what is our work. So QKM is about asking others what they think about our work. Do we done our work as expected, as we promised? QKM normally we promise, right, to deliver A, B, C, D, E. We think we already delivered, but we're not sure whether what we delivered according to what we promised. So we ask our stakeholders, our customers, anyone that related to us. That's why we have customer satisfaction survey. We have assessment. We have audit. These are all the TUQM. We call the quantitative approach in management. So this because we wanted to always be perfect. Okay, in today's, how do we apply in today's management context? We call the budgeting, scheduling, quality control. Later on, when you work in this function, people hate you very much. You know what? I think some of you might used to be perfect, right? Someone, perfect, not privileged, right? You have to carry out your duty and people dislike you very much. QC also people dislike. Quality controller. Control, right? Budget people also people dislike, the group of people that in the public sector, government sector that people very, very hate will be the Ministry of Finance. Later on, when you're in the Ministry of Finance, be prepared to be hated by people. Okay, not because they hated you, but they hated you because you refuse to give them money. Just like EPF, EPF refused to give 10,000 ICITRA. Alhamdulillah, yesterday, Prime Minister already announced, okay, now you can withdraw your 10,000. Do you have 10,000 in your EPF? Oh, you don't have EPF number yet? Okay, I thought that you already have. You never worked before this? I think you should try to have, to tell people I'm also EPF member. Okay, I already had my EPF number. immediately after my SPM. You know what? After my SPM, I work as a laborer in a plantation. So they gave me EPF number and also SOCSO number. So I know during while waiting for my SPM result, I already got my EPF and SOCSO. So I got my salary at that time around 300 ringgit. So they deducted 11 ringgit for my EPF and 1 ringgit for my SOCSO. Right? SPM liver, right? Oh, I got my SOCSO and also EPF. If you don't have, try to have. You know, it is show that you are very seasoned in that employment. Okay? If you have the opportunity, try to have one. If you don't have, you also can apply because you already more than 16 years old, right? More than 16, right? Anyone here below 16? Look like 16, okay, no problem. Sir, I more than 16, but look like 16, okay. Thank you very much. You have the anti-aging recipe or technique that you make you, even though at this time you still look like below 16. And this is all because of the labor law in Malaysia, you know. At the 16, you can be a worker already. And once you're a worker, you can get the EPF and SOCSO. But now, even though you are not a worker, you also can apply for EPF and SOCSO. Self-employed right now, right? Many people are doing self-employed. Self-employment, you work alone, you know, nobody pay you, but you sell your in online, right? That you can apply. What is your employment? Self-employment. So you contribute now. So out of your allowance or your PPM that you receive, contribute like 10 ringgit per month in the EPF and 1 ringgit in the SOCSO. You know what happened? Is that insurance, not SOCSO, like insurance. Even you contribute 1 ringgit in case you have accident, etc., you can claim SOCSO, even though you contribute just 1 ringgit a month. That's why they campaign to all makcik-makcik in kampung, pakcik-pakcik in kampung, apply SOCSO and apply EPF. Okay, but you know what? EPF investment is secured and also Sharia compliant. So if you invest in other investment, you do not know. But for EPF and SOCSO, they are guaranteed and also Sharia compliant. You never heard this campaign, right? So I campaign you also because I do not want you to miss this. Besides, you can work 18 years old, right? So this also you shouldn't miss. Okay, these are the advantage. You know, you have advantage being a SOCSO member and EPF member. You can, even though the amount is not 10,000, you cannot withdraw, but you already have the number and you can contribute by yourself. 1 ringgit for SOCSO, 10 ringgit for EPF. And then later on, you already have some money there, like your saving, right? This saving you cannot withdraw. If you save money in Bank Muamalat, in Bank Islam, easy to withdraw, right? But you put your money in EPF, cannot withdraw. This is a discipline. So don't wait until your graduation to get your EPF. Now also you can get. This is my advice to all of you, because I am also a union, used to be union leader. Okay, union leader. So as union leader, we are fighting for the laborers right. So you people also need to. This is also another project. See whether or not student have SOCSO ATF number, and then you drive campaign, and then out of 100, you don't have to go very far. You can concentrate in this classroom, right? So now just like 0%, no EPF. After your project, like 10% already became member. Impact already. How you did? Then you show that your method, your persuasion, and then you brought EPF officer to come here to help you or probably arrange for the membership drive and so forth. Because also in Kelantan, no, they went to houses in Kelantan. They went house to house like tablik, you know. Assalamualaikum, SOXO member. SOXO. Tablik, Assalamualaikum. Tablik. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Sometimes people don't want to answer. Why? Because if you open the door, they will give you Maskirah, right? You know, I don't want. Okay, see tablet very far, quickly run into the house. No, quiet. Everybody quiet. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum. Oh, 3 times already, yeah? They must left, right? Because 3 times given salam, nobody replied. Alhamdulillah. But now people pray in Kelantan, SOXO. But normally SOXO, they wanted all the people in the Kelantan to get the SOXO because now when you are working as self-employed, right? In your rubber taper, you expose a lot of risk. Tigers, no, in Kelantan, a lot of tigers, right? So in case now you got injury, SOXO can provide the insurance. And you, even you are sick, SOXO can give you the pension for you and your family members. These are the example. So SOXO also did survey in the society. Okay, this is, but don't be a very what I call quantitative person. Some people, they are too competitive, everything numbers, then you'll be missing the humanity. So the good thing about quality management, we can focus on the customer, right? We can also improve our work. When it comes to work never has ending for improvement. In my experience, 22 years, teaching is always my first time. Even though I have been teaching for 22 years, but every time I teach, it's always first time. Why? Because when you always first time, you never consider your history. History is history. Now is now. Look at here, just now you observe yourself, right? Oh, computer breakdown. It's new to me. Suddenly, you know, it's so new to me. Everything is new. Therefore, you always prepare yourself for the contingencies. Process focus. You wanted to make sure that the work is improved from time to time. Okay, the quality of the organization, and then ensure the accuracy of your measurement, and you can empower the employees. Empowerment, you can give the independent to the employees, so that they will be more freely to work and they will gain more trust. Those are the quantitative. We are still having this. Max Webers we have, the Tayo also we have, Taylor also we have, the Kaizen, TK also we have in our management, and also we have the contemporary approach. We have the system, closed system and open system. Why we say we open system? Because we interact with others. Okay, interact with others. We close, we don't want to interact with others. I think nowadays, if you close your system, you will close also your opportunities. We wanted to open system, but be careful. When you open, you also will get the impact from others. Right now, petrol price increase, right? Because of the Ukraine and Russia conflict, isn't it? What is the relationship between they let them having war? Why they increase the petrol price? Sometimes people cannot rationalize. How come Ukraine and Russia were in fighting, and why petrol price is increased? Because they can disturb the shipment, right? The shipment of the oil. Okay? The oil cannot use pipe. You cannot use pipe from Russia. You cannot use pipe from Ukraine to deliver the petrol to other countries. We have to import. We have to import petrol from other places. You might be asking, we are the oil producer, right? But what we must import, what we produce are not enough. Okay, we only have gas. We have gas, but we don't have much of petrol or diesel. Therefore, we have to import. The nearest to us, Russia. Now, when Russia involved in the war, they sanction Russia. Now we have to get our petrol from other places, right? So more costs. That's what the connection of open system. But if you close, we just use firewood, right? Use firewood, you know, use whatever that you have in your kampung, in your place. But open system, we depending on others. If you close your system in Malaysia, no apple, right? You cannot consume apple, you cannot consume potato, what else? I think almost we don't have. Rice also we don't have. But rice, what you see, rice in Tanjung Karang and Kedah, sometimes the rice also not enough. Not enough to feed 32 million population, not enough. Then what to be eaten? Onion also we don't have. Potato also we don't have. Even we don't have stock even. You might be, you know, laughing at stock also we don't have. We have sea very near to us, right? Do you think we can just go to the sea and drink the sea water? No, cannot. Yeah? We have to import our stock. We have to import our sugar. We have to import our MSG. What else? Chicken also we have to import. Chicken egg also to import. Dry fish also to import. Workers also we have to import. So how about us? We are the landlords. What the landlord doing? Just doing nothing. This is bad. That's why we can't afford to have closed system. We open our system, but when we open our system, we have to bear with the forces outside us. Like what happened in the world politics, what happened to the world economy, what happened to the system, why people use cryptocurrency, people use digital, also will be impact our life. Even in our lifestyle, our clothes, our entertainment also impacted by others. Therefore, the key word here, since we are exposed to a lot of factors outside there, we have to do what? Always have contingency. Always have backup or plan other plans. As the layman said, we need to have plan B. Plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, F until Z. Be reasonable, not necessarily to have A until Z. We need to have alternative plans. If you cannot do this, so we switch to another way that is feasible, practical, and cost effective. Right? Cannot be something that out of touch, something that not practical. You have to do something that practical. Okay, whatever is available. Okay, for example, here, if the workers now are not enough, so use robot, right? Mama also already use robot to serve people, right? Have you ever experienced, you went to mama shop, not the mama actually taking order? The robot comes to you, hi, hello, what do you want to eat? Roti canai warna, share it. The robot also will, because the robot has a program like the mama. Okay, anda roti canai warna, share it. Okay, the robot also say okay. So already program. Okay, mama also use robot to take order and also to serve you because they don't have enough workers. So all this way, Mama imported workers from India, right? From Kerala. I have my friend running a restaurant in Subang Jaya, and he has problem now because he couldn't get workers from Kerala, India. I said, who are these people from Kerala? His relatives. Then you know my friend must be from the Tamil Nadu, right? Kerala. You know Kerala? Anyone have friends or relatives from Kerala? No. MashaAllah. Anyone here have Tamil friends? No. No, Tamil friends. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Mumbai. No. Oh. So workers, in restaurant we imported. They imported from India. A plantation from Indonesia. A housemaid from Indonesia also, right? Many times we discuss with the Indonesian government to send housemaid. They don't want to send. They say Malaysians are very bad. When we employed the Indonesian housemaid, what they did them like slaves. They kick them, they torture them, and they didn't give them food, didn't give them money, and then they manipulate them. At the end, Indonesian government say, stop, we don't want to send anymore maid to Malaysia because Malaysians are very cruel. So they employ them as housemaid. You know what happened? They have to do. They have to clean cars. They have to do the car wash. They have to wash the animals, the pets. They have to help them in their work, in the restaurant. Everywhere they go, these people have to work 24/7. They brought them for vacation. They enjoy the vacation. They may enjoy the suffering, right? They have to do the cleaning, everything, and not given food. Indonesia decided not to send anymore. The suffering will be some of us because we have to work. We don't have helpers at home, and Malaysia do not want to work as housemaid. They already know because Malaysian employers are very cruel. Who taught them to be cruel? I also do not know. Think when Malaysian became very cruel? Who taught them to be cruel? I don't think our school system taught us to be cruel, right? I never encourage myself that Malaysian, we have to be cruel to other people. No, right? But what made some Malaysians became cruel? Because of their mental health, right? They are having their mental health problem. So 80% Malaysians are having mental health. But some people can show, some people cannot show their mental health. So the input also, we don't, raw material we have to import. Chicken, why chicken price is because the chicken food we have to import. Chicken to be imported, chicken food to be imported, human to be imported. What do we have here? What do you have in Malaysia? Nothing, right? Everything to be imported is bad, And then the process also requires us to engage with others. We also cannot do always use consultant, engage with technician from overseas. And then output, we are proud. Oh, look at our statistic, commodities. We export all the electronic items, but actually not actually us, done by others. But because they assemble everything here, then we declare that came from our place. But this can be done at the closed system. All this input, process, output can be done at the closed system. But however, we cannot do now. Nowadays, we cannot be in the closed system where we don't have everything. So when we open, we expose to the environment. Environment here, not the natural environment alone, but also the political environment, the politics, economy, social, technology, and so forth. Okay. So these are the explanation. Done. I said in the past, after you have gone through the discussion, then you can go back to the summary to recap. what have you, what actually the main theory is, what actually the key point discussed in this particular chapter, and then try to answer this. See whether or not you can, write again in the in your own way. Don't trap yourself with the textbook wording. Try to write in your own. Okay, so explain why studying management theory is important. This one is general. They don't give you the how many points. But the example that I give, explain 2 points, and then you have to explain 2 points. So what you begin your answer. So the 2 points are A and B. Okay, next, point 1. What is point 1? Then you explain, you give example, and then you close for the point 1. Next paragraph, point number 2. You explain, you give example, and then you close. And then the last one, you make conclusion. Okay, in conclusion, studying management is very important because they can give us what and what. Full stop. This we call answering essay question. Okay, the idea from the that's why you need to read the you need to read in order to reinforce your understanding. You listen to my explanation also to reinforce, not to be the first time. If you first time listen to my storytelling, you might not be able to catch. That's why you need to do pre-reading. So when you listen to my explanation, and then you can enhance your understanding. So perhaps my example also can be used because my example is not in the textbook. Okay, or example of lecturer, he worked in the plantation, he got EPF, for example. Relevant not to say on the 17th March, the lecturer talked about, he used to work, he got EPF, so etc. And then he complained about Indonesian workers, and then that is nothing to do with this, right? Nothing to do with the question. Some people, they remember what I spoke in the class. Sometimes this one, I used to tell this story. They recap whatever I said, but nothing to do with the question. Whatever I said, it is original. You can use, no problem. It's not we call plagiarize. But when you use from textbook, this one you memorize, but sometimes it doesn't, because the textbook doesn't arrange the answer according to the essay. Only give point, but not according to the question. That's why the trick is that read, give you a comprehension, and then when you see this question, and then this question requires you to apply in the context. Okay, when you see the word explain, discuss, how, etc., right? And then number 1, you must have the knowledge. What is knowledge? What are the concepts related to the chapter? Knowledge, number 1. Number 2, you must have understanding. Okay? After you read it, you must understand. Okay. Number 3, and then you need to analyze. What does it mean? Analyze. If this question asks you, studying management history is important. So now you in the textbook, they always saying you the reason for studying management history, right? But now you wanted to tell people why this is important. Then you go back to the textbook. So what they said about the importance of studying management history. So they don't give you in the way that the question 1. The question asks you give 2 points, for example. Right? In the final exam, the question is not like this. It's more specific. Right? Explain 2 reasons for studying management history. Right? In the textbook, it doesn't give you 2 points. It gives you just a general explanation. So these 2 points actually you have to analyze and then you have to put into your own context. Let's say yourself, after you comprehend, and then why do I need to study history of the management? And the textbook said to give you an idea of what's happening. Number two, they say they give so many things, and what they give you not in order. Sometimes they give you in this particular page. There's sometimes on another page, But overall, they give you an idea why they're studying of management. That's why sometimes you're not sure. You go back to the summary, right? So they can you see here? They say studying history important because it helps us to see the origin of today's management and recognize what has not worked. Okay, 2 points here. Number one, the root of the management practice. Number one, when you see the root, then you can appreciate more. This is your explanation. But they don't mention here, appreciate not right. This is your own synthesis from that particular understanding. And number two, recognize what has and has not worked. In other words, whatever already done in the past might be relevant or might be not relevant because it depends on that particular situation. And you explain why not. The point is only here. But perhaps this example might not be relevant to the explanation. Okay, the point is here, but the rest will be your own analysis and your own synthesis. Okay, knowledge, comprehension, analysis, synthesis. Okay? Then only you can write, and then after that you have to structure the essay. The first paragraph will be the thesis statement. This is thesis statement. Studying is important because of this. This is called thesis statement. Because they highlight the 2 points, right? Okay. Next paragraph, then you start to have origin of today's management. Okay. Another paragraph, origin. Okay. Origin of the. Then you explain. Okay. This one is not a paragraph. This not paragraph will be. This is one paragraph only, but you have to break. Yeah. First paragraph is the thesis statement. Okay, this is your first paragraph. Let me draw. This will be your thesis statement. In essay, in English essay, this is called the thesis statement. Paragraph 1. Paragraph number 2 will be your first topic sentence. First topic sentence. This is your first topic sentence. Origin, right? Right here. Origin, root of management practice. Then what to do? Explain what is actually is about. Why? How this related? Why this related to management? Right? For the first point. This is first paragraph. This is your second paragraph. Second point is now this one, right? Recognize. Recognize as your second point. Your third paragraph. This is statement number 2. Don't write this is statement topic sentence. I'm just showing you now. Don't write. Some people okay. So topic sentence. This is statement. Some people follow exactly. That's why I have to question you. Don't write thesis statement. Don't write topic sentence. I'm just explaining to you, what actually the role of that paragraph. Don't write thesis statement, topic sentence. No. Okay, paragraph. One paragraph, minimum 3 sentences. Okay, 3 sentences. But for the thesis statements, okay, you have just, you can have 2 sentences, okay already, because you want to highlight the key points. And then the 4th paragraph, the conclusion. So conclusion means you have to wrap up these 2 into just one paragraph, 3 sentences. That is the meaning of composing essay. Thesis statement, topic sentence, and conclusion. Done. Yeah. Here, the only point that you can get from textbook is only the first sentence only. And the rest, they are not relevant because they are talking about the example in the textbook, not the instruction from the exam. Can you see now the problem? So they have problem. So that can only give me this answer only. They can give me thesis statement because this one is in the textbook. Last time online, no? Open textbook. Sir, I couldn't find the answer in the textbook. Of course, the answer is on you. You are the one to synthesize. The textbook cannot synthesize. If you cannot synthesize, then you can answer. You cannot have the third, second, third, and fourth paragraph. You only stop here only because this is what available in the textbook. So if this is 20 marks, not 15 or 20 marks, the points, okay, the points, if you, the point will be just, we will award the point around 14 marks only the point. Points only 14 marks. If the point can be deliberated, for this one 14. So what happened another 6? 6 will be the essay, the essay structure. This context, in this format will be another 6 marks. But if your point is not in the essay, okay, the 6 marks will be gone. And the point cannot be explained well, this also will be gone. Okay, the first thing first, if the answer wrong, no problem, but make sure the structure is correct, you can get already 6 marks already. And if the point wrong, explanation is good, at least you can get here around, if not 14, you can get around 10. Okay, that's why don't be given up. Just try and see. Okay, don't know the answer, just try and see. Looks like essay already enough. Okay, don't leave blank. Don't leave blank. So that's why even though I taught them this format, because what we want you is your attempt. You must try in essay. Doesn't matter whether the answer is wrong, you give your own fatwa, no problem. The textbook never discuss it, you give that also. No problem. You already scored 6 marks already. The format essay. Then I will look at if the point is wrong, but explanation could be, because you steam very well, you fry very well. Oh, very nice to eat. Oh, this is good also. What is wrong? But the ingredient is correct. At the end, I can consume. Thank you very much. Good recipe. I give marks. That's why don't give me just point. You must have essay. Because the point is not the focus. If you have the point but not written in essay, no point also. Right? Because the requirement must be written in essay. Okay, the only easy part, if we still have at this time, the multiple choice is easy. What is it? You know or you don't know, you can just choose any alphabet, isn't it? But alhamdulillah, the last semester, alhamdulillah, multiple choice, people have no problem with multiple choice. Because of multiple no problem, they only did multiple choice. 3 hours, they spend, I don't know whether they really spend 3 hours for multiple choice. Or perhaps just 1 hour they did the exam, the 2 hours they sleep, we do not know. Because online, right? And we didn't use what I call Zoom. We didn't require you to open the Zoom. Except certain people, they ask you to open Zoom and so forth. But for this course, we trust you 100% at that time. Right now, you will be in the exam room. People in the Zoom, you will be no longer under our control. Okay, lecturers won't manage anymore the exam, but rather the administrator will manage the exam, because we will have the exam in the hall like this, right? Not like this hall, in the hall somewhere, perhaps the convocation hall, or all the students there, and then another student will be at the corner for the Zoom and will be monitored by the exam assistants. Okay, with textbook, with notes, students cannot answer the essay. Can you imagine, you have textbook, you can answer essay, must be something wrong, right? Why? The wrong is that because textbook only give you the point, but cannot give you the explanation, cannot synthesize. Okay, sister, last time you asked how actually to answer essay. So this is the method. So this is also the scheme that examiners use to examine or to check your answers. Similarly to the case study as well. The case, I give you case, try to read and answer the question from the case. Case what they said you have to read. Read how many times? They said read one time they couldn't understand, 2 times can understand. Why don't you read 100 times? Or they say after the reading, I think 10 times they could understand. That means that, no? Okay, you have the question, okay. Okay, now read again with the question, guided by the question. And then you can find. Because the answer is not in one paragraph, could be scattered in the case. And that's why you need to comprehend the case. Okay, these two parts are because many students couldn't answer. Because they couldn't answer, they just left empty. And good for examiners. Thank you very much for helping us so that we can expedite our marking. Multiple choice and blank. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Open again, blank. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Blank, 0, 0, 0. If you give me writing, I have to read. I have to give a mark, right? I have to give 6 marks, okay, 4 marks is okay. Now the point is not okay, but the explanation has some point. Okay, I have to give the point to that. That one require us to read your answers. But if you give blank, thank you very much. We give 0. Many, not just not many. For the previous class, I think because of the online exam, they have online fatigue, or they're given out very fast. Yeah, hopefully this time we could have the face-to-face examination. All right, that's all for today. Thank you very much. We end our session with Tasbih Kafara and something else. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.